Dale and Joseph from Bootkick, and today we're going to talk about market segmentation, how to build products and services specifically for a target market that you're actually after. The three things I want to talk to you about are just different strategies on how you can actually push your business out there. It might be an undifferentiated strategy, it might be multi-segment strategy, or it might be a very niche strategy, just going after one group. So those are the three approaches you can take if you're going to figure out which kind of target group, what customer group you're going to be going after. So one approach you could take is kind of an undifferentiated strategy. Undifferentiated strategy is you're producing one product for everybody. Milk would be a good example of an undifferentiated strategy. They have one product they put out there, it's milk, and they advertise it to everybody. They say, okay, milk's good for everybody. Everybody should drink it. They don't have specific milk for ladies, specific milk for men, specific milk for old people, for young people. They just have one product for the entire market. Okay, so that's kind of an undifferentiated strategy. And there's some advantages to that. It's relatively a lot cheaper to actually just have one marketing campaign than a whole bunch of different marketing campaigns. And it's a simpler process, right? So, you don't have to create a whole bunch of different products, you're just producing the one. Disadvantages are that other people might be able to segment the market and say, you know what, you're not really making that one group of customers that happy. So we can create a product or service specifically for them and steal a bunch of them away. When Ford originally produced cars back in the day, when they started mass producing cars, they said you could have your car in any color you want as long as it's black. They produced the Model T and they said, you know what, this car's for everybody. Producing one product, one vehicle for the entire market. Anybody that wanted to buy a vehicle, it was a Model T and that was it. And then another competitor came along and said, you know what, different people want different cars for different reasons. So not everybody wants a Model T. Maybe someone who's young and single wants more of a sporty car. So let's produce a sporty car for the young single people out there that wants a little bit more excitement. Or you know what, there's a lot of families out there. Maybe somebody wants a family car. So a multi-segment approach can be a very big threat to an undifferentiated approach. And that's recognizing that, out of this entire market of everybody who wants to buy automobiles, different people want different things. So let's build a product and market a product specifically for that group. And you want to make sure the group's big enough that it's going to be profitable, they're going to be easy to reach, and they actually have a uniqueness that it makes sense to actually create a different product for them. That's a strategy that GM came up with, and they started creating a whole bunch of different segments to go after. And they started eating Ford's lunch for a little while, and then Ford had to adapt as well, and they realized, okay, well, different people want cars for different reasons. We got to go with a multi-segment approach. There's some advantages to the multi-segment approach. One of them is you're better serving your customer needs, which means you have a better chance of actually acquiring those customers. The customers are going to want to buy your product or service because you're listening to their needs and you're building products or services specifically for them. It is more expensive though. You have to create different products. You have to have different assembly lines to produce different vehicles. You have to have different marketing campaigns, different advertising campaigns. You've got to reach out to customers in different ways. It's a more expensive approach, but it can have better results as long as the market's big enough that it makes sense to actually divide it up into different multi-segments. My last strategy, realizing there's multi-segments and saying, do you know what, that's the segment we're going after. We're picking that one and that's all we're going to focus on. And in the automotive industry, the most recent example would be Tesla. Elon Musk, when he came out with the concept of the electric car, he wasn't trying to mass market that to everybody. He was focused on one group to start, and that was the uber rich, the people that could really afford high-end luxury automobiles. That's the target market he went after. He did his analysis, and he realized, okay, this market's big enough, we can make money off this, we can profit off of it. Let's serve this niche as best as we possibly can, and they own that niche. They did extremely well with it. To start, focus on serving a core group of customers the best you are, and then branch and grow from there. And this is important for entrepreneurs, especially small startup companies, because you're going to lack a lot of resources. As a startup company, you don't have as much money, you don't have as many people working for you, you don't have as much infrastructure in place. Focus on a core group. It's like, no, this is the group we're going after. We can build a product specifically for them. No one's doing it for them yet properly. And we have the skills and capabilities to make sure we develop a product and service specifically for that group. You're going to be much higher chance of being successful that way. So niche strategy can work very effectively, especially for a small business that doesn't have the resources to go after all customers all at the same time. Amazon didn't do it. They started with books, then they branched out. Niche was the best strategy for them to start. Undifferentiated, go after everybody all at once. Multi-segment, say recognizing there's different groups and picking the groups that you want to go after. or niche and saying, you know what, there's different groups, but we only have the resources to go after one. We're going to knock it out of the park with that one.